Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Behind me, 2007 Honda Pilot. We're gonna be replacing the upper intake manifold gasket. Let's get started. I'm gonna start by taking off our engine cover. Right here in the front, there should be 3 little locks. We wanna turn those 90 degrees. Pop it up, and then there'll be 2 little grommets in the back. Just give it a good wiggle, and it should pop right out, just like that. The intake manifold does have to be removed, so let's start disconnecting things. We'll start with this hose and work our way in this direction. Take the hose clamp off, just with a pair of pliers. For this one, I'm just gonna use a flat screwdriver, kind of push on it from the inside and just pop it away. There we go. We'll get this back one back here. So we'll just do the same thing. Let me move the camera around. Got our electrical connector right here, pop that off. It's just a pinch and pull. This hose up top, pull that off. Just push on it. We got a little hose and bracket here. We'll just take the bracket off, 10 millimeter. And then I'll just put the bolt back so we don't lose it. Disconnect this up here. Just pinch and pull. And then we'll pull it out of its little retainer, just like that. Our purge solenoid in the back, because we have this hose disconnected here, we'll just disconnect it right here, 10 millimeter. And this whole thing should be free, and then we don't have to worry about it. We can disconnect our intake boot. It's either an 8 millimeter, a Phillips, or a flat, whichever one you got. And on this side, it should just pop off. Just give it a good wiggle. There we go. And we got this little hose here. We'll just take the clamp off, like that. And we should be able to just kind of wiggle it out. Now hold on to the clamp so you don't drop it as this comes off. Wiggle, wiggle. There we go. Our purge solenoid has one more 10 millimeter underneath it. We have our coolant hose here. We can disconnect. You can either disconnect it from this metal pipe or from the throttle body, whichever is easiest for you. I think this metal pipe will do me just fine. I'm gonna use that little angled pick just to get in between the hose and the pipe. That'll just help break it free. There we go. A little bit of coolant will come out. I think the last thing over here is just our throttle body connector. Again, pinch and pull off. Might have to wiggle it if it hasn't come off in a long time. Sometimes they're nice and stuck, but it is just pinch. There we go. Okay, let's double check, make sure we got everything. There is one more coolant hose on the bottom. I think that'll be easier to get. Once our manifold is unbolted, we'll kind of just flip it over and we'll get that last hose. Before we pull off our bolts, we'll go ahead, either take an air hose or a vacuum. I like a vacuum, so all that dust's not kicked up in the air. And we'll just vacuum this really good first, so we don't get any dirt or grit inside. Now we have this top plate to take off. They're all 10 millimeter bolts. So I'll just take a little screwdriver. They give you a spot. There's a little lip in a few places. Just pop up on it. This one's not really stuck, so perfect. Comes right up. We'll take our gasket off so we don't hurt it. Slowly pop it up. Now if yours is really stuck, you can just leave it, but there we go. And we'll just wipe this off really good before reinstalling it. Now we can remove the bolt holding on our upper manifold. There is a sequence for removing this. The manual had you go from the outside to the inside. And they should all be 12 millimeter. There's 2 over in this little channel, and then the rest are in this main body. Because we're tipping this over, I'm just gonna take all the bolts and the 2 nuts out. Well, that's not gonna work. Because the studs where the 2 nuts went are a little too tall, we have to pull that hose off first. So that's a bummer. So go ahead and tackle that. The clamp is just faced in the wrong direction. So I'm just taking a screwdriver to twist it a little so I can get my pliers on it. And I'll just take my pliers, just like all the other hoses. Not too bad. Okay, lift up and out. Okay, same thing. I'm just gonna vacuum around here. Take off our gasket. Wipe off our surface. New gasket. On our manifold on the bottom, we just wanna wipe it off real good. Make sure it's nice and clean. The ports where like the EGR and stuff go in, want to make sure that there's no carbon on our surface. We'll just wipe that off. Give it a nice flat mating surface. Just wipe around this whole thing. You can use a little brake cleaner or solvent if you need. This isn't looking too bad. I'll drop it on. Make sure all your hoses and stuff are out of the way and not underneath it. Put our nuts on first. Our bolts are all the same size, so it really doesn't matter. Drop them in, get some threads started. We'll suck those down. These are 16 foot-pounds. It's kind of an interesting pattern, so I'll throw it up on the screen. All right, for this, do the same thing, just wipe it off. Nice, good mating surface. Throw our gasket on. Want to make sure the bottom of this is clean as well. Suck her down. These are torqued to 8.7 foot-pounds, starting from the center one, then over here, crisscross all the way out. All right, now we're just putting hoses and connectors back on. Since we're over here, we'll start with this one. Got our brake booster hose in the back. Let me swing you around. Put our lower coolant hose on. Put this little connector on here. Got our purge solenoid, just those 2 bolts. This hose up here, get those bolts in. Just snug. Let's clamp on. Get this little connector here. We'll put on after, so it's not in our way. Got this coolant hose here. Throttle body connector. Got this little hose in that bracket, just on the side here. Just like everything else, just a little snug. Put this on. Make sure it's seated all the way. And put this little clamp on before this hose goes in. And we'll put the hose on. Nice. Snug this down. Now this can get plugged into the rubber right here and then plugged in the top. I'm gonna take a little bit of water and just clean that off where all the coolant spilt. Got my catch pan underneath just to keep it clean. All right, one final look around. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Well, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and start it up. Sounds good. We'll put our cover on. We'll lock our tabs. Make sure the grommets are in. Nice, and we're done. All right, that is it. That's how you're gonna replace the upper intake manifold gasket on your Honda Pilot. All in all, pretty straightforward. The last thing we wanna do is just top it off with a little coolant, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching. I'll have links in the description for all the parts and tools used. If you have any questions or comments, post down below. We'll see you on the next one.